Al, it's March.
It is March.
You know what that means.
That it's March.
It's time to get madness.
What?
It's March Madness. You know, the
Sport.
sports thing.
Sports
It
references.
is.
Yay.
It's time for the annual 64-team college basketball tournament. Everyone's like, wow, I got to fill out this bracket and try and predict the winner. And then everyone gets it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I was...
Hey, the number 64, it's your favorite number.
Yeah, shut up. How rude. So I was racking my brain trying to come up with an idea for this podcast for this week because I knew you had like a rough week. I was like, we should do something that's easy.
Yeah,
And I was
and I
like,
appreciate that.
and I was thinking, I was like, I did some filling out some brackets because as someone who doesn't watch college basketball, I do them in the dumbest way possible. So the 3 brackets I did was a simulation where I just simulate all the games. I came up with a winner, a coin flip, and a dice roll.
As you pay attention to that sports ball.
I do. Yep, that's me. I had that on my mind. I was like, what if we did something in the same vein? What if we made it our own thing, not sports related, but something that we could talk about. We could fill up with 64 items. And I was like, okay, what do we know that we can get that many things out of and get good discussion out of? Well, we've played a lot of Persona.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of characters in those games.
Mm-hmm.
What if we talked about them and ranked them and determined the best character?
And honestly, I thought it was a fantastic idea. Like, I was so on board when you first said it. Like, that sounds amazing. And then you were evil and ruined my life.
So that is what we're going to do today here on episode 67 of the Season Anime Checkup OVA podcast, where we have conversations about video games, anime, manga. Hello, I'm Jared, joined as always by Anne Ladyem.
Hi. I don't know sports ball.
And that's what we're doing. We're replacing March Madness with Persona 3 through 5 Madness.
March edition.
Yes, exactly. There will be a link in a description if you can find it, like on the website, seasonanimecheckup.com, where it'll take you to the bracket if you want to fill out your own prediction. I'll leave it up for like a couple of weeks or so, and then eventually we'll tally it up and see who got closest to what we determined. But it's just a fun thing you can do on your own. Just be like, hey, I'm going to make my own prediction and see, like, who do I think is the best character? Of course, we got to remember, these are all subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because you can't necessarily fill out all of the main characters and social links from Persona 3 through 5 into a 64 item bracket because there's like 80-something characters that fill that thing. So I took a little bit of liberties with some of them. For the most part, it's the main characters, your main party characters, main villains per se. That's a little fishy here and there. Velvet Room attendees. And then a couple characters from some of the spin-off games, and then social links that I felt that we would be able to like at least argue for.
Yep.
Or at least that seemed relevant to the game. So there's going to be some people that are missing. Most notably, it'll be from like the social link areas, and I mean there's people missing from all 3 games. So it's not like we just like hackneyed like the Persona 5 characters or something like that. And as well, you will note there is no Persona 1 through 2 characters.
Yep.
And I did that specifically because Al has not played those games, and
I've played one.
You haven't played like all of those games.
Yeah, I haven't played all those games, so it would have been unfair to those characters if you'd put like the 2 characters in there, because obviously I wouldn't have picked them, and that wouldn't have been
exactly.
That
is the exact reasoning I was about to get to. So yeah, that is why we don't have 1 through 2 characters in there. But they're still all good characters, and those are still all good games, so don't get into a hissy fit. Please.
We still love 1 through 2, which you love. You love 2 because you played it, but I haven't had time to play it. Maybe once I actually have like a life again, it'll happen.
Maybe.
So
yeah, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go through the round of 64, which the rankings for this are a little bit meaningful, but not really. The first 32 rankings are your main characters, main plot point characters.
Hmm.
So there's 32 of them. The rest of them are just randomized, and those are mostly just social link characters. For the most part, like rankings went, the first 4 rankings went to the main characters, and then after that, it went party members for each game. So it'd be like for 5 would be rank 5 would be someone from Persona 3, rank 6 would be someone from Persona 4, rank 7 would be someone from Persona 5, and then so on and so forth until you get down to 32. So those weren't really like shuffled or anything. It's kind of like in order of how I had them written down. And then 33 through 64, like I said, is randomized, so it's not like any of those people get preferential treatment per se. So some of these matchups are going to be a little weird, but that's just the nature of the beast.
I just want to comment the fact that Loki has sneezed twice and Maxwell's over there scratching, so they both clearly want to participate.
They do. And just like, real March Madness, we're going to rake in a bunch of sponsorship money and then pay the participants 0. Because why would we do that? We're not going to pay these people who are doing all the work for us. Ha! That's silly. Sorry, I had to get my jab in at the NCAA for not paying their student athletes.
Capitalism.
Yay! All right. So you have a bracket in front of you. You have the round of 64 at least.
Yep. And I remember where I went with them.
So we're going to fill out our own. We've both filled this out individually. We're going to create our own version of this.
Yep.
And we're going to start off with the first matchup. It is the number 1 ranked Persona 3 main character Makoto Yuki taking on Persona 3 social link President Tanaka. And like some of these first round matches are just going to go like that. Like it's just like this one. It's P3 main character.
It is P3 main character. Although like I felt sad that Tanaka had to get thrown out because he is a funny character.
He is a very good social link.
And he's continued. Like he's been there. But yeah, it's P3 main character, obviously.
Absolutely. Next up, we have rank 32 versus rank 33. We have Kaname Mashita from Persona 4 Dancing All Night taking on Persona 4 social link, the Mysterious Fox. This is a little bit of a tougher one.
It was actually, which is weird because you think like, oh, it's a fox. And I will be honest with you, I changed mine on this one the first time I ever did it because originally I picked the fox. But then I thought about it and I was like, I really liked Kaname. Like she was pretty funny, and I mean she had a pretty serious story that went along with her, and some of the like weird sexualization of her was not okay, but like that wasn't her fault. I liked her. She was a little dumb, but so I ended up going with her instead. Sorry, Mr. Fox.
Oh, also, I do have statistics for this. I forgot. For the first matchup, 100% of the predictions have favored the P3 main character. So, sorry, President Tanaka, you are a little bit out of bounds there. I will say that I also agree with you on this matchup. I'm going to go with Kaname.
Yeah.
I love Fox. Fox is a really goofy character in a social link, but I like Kaname a little bit more.
Well, and I mean, the fox was neat because like you had to help people, but I don't know. I just like Kaname as a character better. And like I said, I switched it. I originally had Fox, and I had to think about it. I'm like, no, okay, I'll change it.
You'll likely to know that the predictions are split on this matchup.
Ooh.
So far. Up next, we have our third matchup. I gotta get a little closer here to read these numbers because they are very small. Rank 16 of Makoto Nijima from Persona 5 taking on Strega's Jin Shirato from Persona 3. This is going to be the one that's going to probably upset some people right away. The winner here's Jin.
Yeah, I picked Jin. 1,000% I picked Jin.
Makoto's not a good character.
She's really not. I mean, she had potential to be. She had a lot of potential to be a good character, and she just wasn't. And Jin had like a complicated story to him. He kind of had like this weird abusive relationship with Takaya, and he had the backstory with like Mitsuru, the Kirijo group, and also like he has those crazy sleeves.
He's got grenades.
He had grenades, and he did that dance whenever he summoned his persona. Like, I like Jin. He's a villain, but he's a really fantastic villain in terms of like his characterization. And I like it when you can feel like genuine sympathy for a villain.
Hmm.
And I feel like Jen was like the most sympathetic of them, in my opinion, of the Strega group. But yeah, I wholeheartedly picked Jen on this one. That was not even a question for me.
We also have a split on this matchup as well.
Really?
Yep. That is a thing. Matchup number 4, we have the 17th ranked Aegis for Persona 3 taking on Persona 3 Social Link Kenji Tomochika. Which also, did you realize that for that Blaze Blue tag battle, they are going with the Japanese spelling for Aegis?
Are they?
Arc System Works was like, yeah, we're going Aegis.
Oh,
Aegis.
you just.
I think this is also a no-brainer. It's Aegis. Like,
I picked Aegis as well.
Kenji's Social Link kind of sucks.
It's not just that Kenji's social link kind of sucks. Kenji kind of sucks.
That too. That
Because
is
he's got the
also
whole,
very
like,
true.
obsession with the teacher, and then like in the P3P route, like he's terrible to I'm blanking on her name, the sports girl,
Rio.
Rio. He's terrible to her, and I'm like, Kenji kind of sucks.
Yeah, he's not great.
So I picked Aegis because she's hilarious, and
Yes.
we all love our little toaster robot.
100% of the predictors so far have picked Aegis.
Wow,
They're all
that's
good people.
Yeah, good.
Our 5th matchup, we see the 8th ranked Junpei Iori from Persona 3 taking on Persona 5 Social Link Sojiro Sakura.
Please don't tell me there's a split on this one.
There is a 75% advantage for one of these participants.
Because Junpei deserves it.
Junpei is the better character. I think these are both good characters.
I would say that Shojiro's one of the better P5
Yes.
characters, but matched up against Junpei.
It's a bad matchup for him to go into this first round with, but yeah, Junpei is I would agree is the winner here, the winner.
I I am one of the like biggest defenders of Junpei in the entire universe.
Yes.
And I still stand by the fact that he's like the best bro character of any of the Persona games. Like I also like Yosuke, but like Junpei was, once he got over his initial jealousy, he was pretty ride or die, and he was fantastic. And he also is just like, there's way more to him than what you see in the surface, and I like that a lot about him. Junpei is fantastic.
Yeah.
Anybody who doesn't like Junpei can just step off, go away from me.
And like I said, 75% of the predictors have picked Junpei in this matchup.
Good.
Up next, we have the 6th matchup of the round of 64. The 25th ranked Goro Akechi from Persona 5 taking on Persona 3 Social Link Yuko Nishiwaki.
I picked one of these by default.
You know, I also did the same thing, but I'm going to argue that Goro is the better character here.
He is the better character. I just don't like him.
I don't like him either, but I think he wins this matchup if we're being objective here.
I mean, yeah, because he has more story than Yuko does.
Yeah, and Yuko's
So
just
it's
kind of like just there. She's the athletic club manager.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you do get both of her. You get her both in P3 and P3P, but I don't think they really do much with her, or at least enough. I mean, granted, like, I think that's kind of a fault just for those early Persona games where they just didn't do like a super lot with social links or side characters in general.
I just really can't stand Goro.
I mean, yeah, I am completely with you there.
So like, while I understand with my brain that Goro should have won this, I cannot give it to Goro because I just cannot stand him. I think he is just.
So obviously, we went the other way. Are we going to go professionally? Are we going Goro?
Professionally, we have to go Goro.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like we just have to.
Yeah.
But personally, I will have it on record that I do not support Goro.
You can tell it's us because 75% of the predictions favor Yuko.
But wait, other people did it too, so it wasn't just us.
It wasn't just us. Matchup number 7, we have ninth rank Chie Satanaka from Persona 4 taking on P3 Social Link Akanari Kameki.
And this one, honestly, like I felt bad for Akinari because he was a really good character, but you can't go against Chie here.
Chie, one of the best characters from Persona 3.
Chie is
Persona 4, excuse me.
fan. Yeah, wow.
Unless you count her P3P brief appearance.
Yeah, Chie is just, she's good. She's a really good character. I don't think she gets enough love.
I would agree with you.
Yeah. Chie is I don't know, she's got a lot of interesting aspects of like traditional femininity versus masculinity, and she has a lot of like personal struggles with who she is beyond just like the ooh, let's go into the getting the persona mode. Like her actual social link and her character throughout the story is about her trying to figure out who she is. And I love Chie. I really, really love Chie.
She's great.
Also, I know you hate it, but her interactions with Yosuke still like make my entire life. They're so funny.
I think like you said though, Arcanari he's a great character. It's a bad matchup first round. Like there are other people on this list I could see him going through and go into the second round, but going up against Chie, that's not happening.
Yeah,
not an upset.
I mean, it's not, and like you were saying, other people in this bracket, I could have seen him winning easily because he was a fantastic character, and like I always tried to see him. He was tragic. It was a really tragic story, but
I mean, there's a reason he's referenced in P4.
You just can't beat Chie.
75% of the predictors have went with Chie. Matchup number 8, we have the 24th ranked Naoto Shirogane from Persona 4 taking on P3 Social Link Chidori Yoshino. A lot to talk about with this matchup, obviously.
Was she Social Link? No, she's Strega.
Oh right, yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of the wrong person. Strega. It's Chidori. I'm thinking of Chihiro.
Yeah.
Different characters, but same start letter.
Yeah. Whether I feel like it was proper or not, I actually picked Chidori on this one as well. Same reasons as Jin. I felt like Chidori was really an interesting character, a well-rounded villain. And her interactions with Junpei really did a lot for me. So I ended up going with her. Partially because there's been so much confusion behind Naruto with the fans like post P4.
Yeah.
Because there has been a lot of discussion of like, well, did they handle this properly? Like, was she presenting as male because she wanted to be trans, or was she just presenting as male because of Japanese gender roles? And I felt like that could have been clearer.
Yeah.
And I lean one direction on that, but the issue is that because Naoto was kind of a later game character, a lot of her characterization fell to the wayside.
Right.
And she just kind of became like this smart, awkward character.
Though I guess she does benefit from the spinoffs.
She does.
This is a tough one.
Like I said, I went with Chidori, but that's just me.
Because I'm not necessarily sure, like, the whole hubbub, like, post P4 of, like, what Western fans think of her character is necessarily a knock against her character for Naoto.
Yeah. It makes it complicated for me because I know that Western fans wanted more of Naoto in a certain direction, and I'm not sure that's how the Japanese creators intended
for
that to be interpreted, but also like as weird as it is, like Naoto and Kanji's characterization, at least in the West, is not very clear. And honestly, like I never really wanted to social link with Naoto. I never even took her to like in my party. Like I just wasn't a big fan.
I guess the thing we have to clarify for this is like, are we talking about how these people interact in their singular game, or as the characters as a whole throughout multiple games, if that is applicable?
Which obviously Chidori doesn't really have a lot because of what happens to her.
Right.
Beyond like what Junpei says about her and like which fighting game was it? The second fighting game.
Yeah.
And Naoto does end up getting more of a characterization because she was in dancing and she was in the fighting games. I just don't think that they do a lot with her.
I think the versions of Naoto I like the best are P4 Golden Anime
Hmm.
Naoto and Dancing All Night Naoto.
Is that because of the like Christmas
Oh,
episode?
it's 100,000% because of the Christmas episode. It's the best. But if you take that into consideration, that leaves main game,
Hmm.
PQ, and both fighting games as like where I'm just like, I could take it or leave it. I think Chidori wins this.
I think Chidori wins it. Um,
It's that's a very narrow decision.
it's tough because again, Naruto does have good characterizations in certain
Yes.
instances, but the fact that there are so many games and her characterization kind of falls on the wayside is not good for her.
Like I know a lot of people like that character, but like I mean for me personally, like we said, this is all subjective. So
Yeah.
don't get into raging fits. But it's like she is bottom half of favorite characters from that game, at least in
Oh,
terms of the
same.
main characters. So
Absolutely same. Like I said, I never used her. I never really had the desire to social link with her. Like there was just nothing about her that I was like, wow, that's something that I really, really want to like. I want to go hang out with her. Like honestly, I'd just rather go hang out with Kanji.
all right, well, up next we have match number 9. We have the 4th ranked Ren Amamiya from Persona 5, the main character. Not his manga name, because of course that would get changed, and then everyone threw a hissy fit. Going up against 61st ranked Theodore from Persona 3 Portable. I'm going to go ahead and just say right now, it's the Persona 5 main character, because I don't like Theodore.
I don't remember who I picked on this. I might have picked Theodore.
Hang on, let me get statistics for the last matchup. The Naoto Chidori one is split. This
Hmm.
one is a 75% advantage.
For Ren,
Yeah.
it might have been me that picked Theodore.
Nothing about Theodore is like endearing. Like out of all of the Velvet Room attendees, he's easily the worst. Like there's nothing about him makes me like think he's likable in the slightest. He's just like, I'm just a weird goofball, and it's just like,
I like him better than I like Margaret by a lot. And honestly, his best characterization, and this is going to sound crazy because everybody got terrible characterization in
it's
this game,
PQ,
but
yeah.
it's
Mm-hmm.
PQ.
Yeah.
Um, he was just a lot of fun in PQ, and I like him. I like his social link in P3P. Um, I think like if I'm looking at this from a professional standpoint, P5 Pro Tag gets it. It was just my personal feelings at that point, but
Yeah,
I'd say because of us being professional for this, go with Pro Tag.
it's just for me. Like Theodore has never done anything for me.
Yeah,
Like you
and
said,
I get that.
I think the PQ representation is the best one. I think how he is in P3P is just like it misses the boat. Like they try to make him a little bit too serious, and it just doesn't. It didn't do much for me. And then like the way he is in the fighting games is super super weird in a way that I'm like, but yeah. Let's head to our next matchup. Matchup number 10. We have the 29th ranked best boy Koromaru from Persona 3 taking on P5 Social Link Ichiko Oya.
This was easy.
You didn't want the the halfway drunk reporter to go through over a dog.
Best boy wins.
Yeah, it's Koromaru.
I even have like a plush of him. Like I've been campaigning hard for Kormo to dance.
He better be able to dance.
Somebody let Koromaru dance.
75% of the voters have picked Koromaru.
75? It wasn't a
It
blowout
was
on
not a
this
blowout.
one? Wow. Who are you, person?
Matchup
How could
number
you
11.
not pick the dog?
This is a tough one.
This one was a really hard one. I had a tough time
same.
picking this one.
13th ranked Yusuke Kitagawa from Persona 5 taking on P4 Social Link Nanako Dojima.
I had such a hard time with this because Yusuke is like my second favorite P5 character.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like him. I think he's a good character, but like Nanako, man.
Is also a really good character.
I think I went with Nanako.
Let's take a look at the old Jared bracket. Oh, okay. So I was the lone dissenter. I am the one person who picked Yusuke in this.
Wow.
This is easily like a coin flip one.
It
could go either way.
That I don't. I think either one should go forward because they're both fantastic characters. Maybe Yusuke should go forward because he's playable.
I mean, that's not fair.
It's not, but also like Nanako dances, and that's wonderful.
We can't determine this on like if they're playable or not. This is best character.
I know, but I'm saying that because he's playable, he gets more of a story than Nanako gets because you get to have more of like just beyond the social links, you get more of like what he's reacted to and like the main story and that kind of thing. And Nanako, you don't get that until like the heaven dungeon.
And then she gets kind of like knocked out for like that entire dungeon.
Mm-hmm. That was what I meant by he's playable, is that he has more of a presence in the story.
But does that make him the better character?
I mean, Nanako greets you every time you come home, that is real respectable.
She asks you what happens when people die.
I know. And she dances.
Oh, this is tough.
Like I said, I picked Nanako. That's who I picked personally. And I stand by that, even if I do think that like it's a hard matchup. It's a really hard matchup.
I think I can be swayed for Nanako.
Like
I said, I was the lone dissenter on this pick, so and
I know how to sway you for Nanako.
Okay.
Do you remember the meme that I sent you recently?
I mean, there's been a lot of them.
But the Nanako one.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah. Yep. Every day is great at your Juness. Change my mind.
Yes.
So.
Well, we got through that one. Jeez.
That one was hard.
That's one of the tougher ones in this.
Actually, the next one was pretty tough too.
I don't think so. It wasn't for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember who I went with, but I had a hard time debating it.
Up next, we have match 12. 20th ranked Fuka Yamagishi from Persona 3 taking on Ryoji Mochizuki from Persona 3.
I went with Fuka.
I also went with Fuka. And also, 100% of the people have went with Fuka, so I think Fuka is the winner here. Ryoji's a good character. I think he suffers from being introduced in the like last quarter of the like at least last third of the game, probably.
He has the same issue as Naoto, except for Naoto is playable. But and he ends up being, a villain. Cough, cough. But Fuka, it's weird. I don't feel like Fuka gets enough love.
She is someone that the more times I play P3, the more she grows on me.
I think she's wonderful. I think she's absolutely wonderful.
Fuka the Bazooka.
She's hilarious. She's really, really a funny character. You feel empathy for her. Gasp the enemy.
The enemy.
Like I just really like Fuka, period.
She's great. She's really great. All right, 13th matchup.
This one was easy for me.
We're still not even halfway through these first matchups yet. We have 5th ranked Yukari Takiba from Persona 3 taking on 60th ranked Margaret from Persona 4. This is Yukari.
It's Yukari. Yukari is amazing. Fight me. I love Yukari. I also just don't like Margaret. I've mentioned it a few minutes ago when we were talking about Theodore. I don't
Yeah.
like Margaret.
I think Margaret's fine, but in this matchup, it's easily Yukari. Also, 75% of the voters have picked Yukari.
75. Who are you, dissenter? Yukari is clearly the better character.
Match 14. We have 28th ranked Morgana from Persona 5 taking on 37th ranked P5 Social Link Sei Nijima.
Think I went with Morgana in this one.
This is the question of, do you want to go to bed early or do you want to be harassed in a jail cell or in an interrogation room?
Yeah. But also Morgana's a cat.
Yes,
so
that's true.
I think that's why I went with Morgana.
I mean, I also did. So, I think we're going to go Morgana on this one.
I guess we're going to bed now.
100% of the voters have picked Morgana.
Okay, so I did pick Morgana. Good.
Matchup number 15, we have the 12th ranked Yukiko Amagi from Persona 4 taking on P5 Social Link and 53rd rank Yuki Mishima.
And I like Mishima, but he's going against Yukiko.
Yukiko is low-key one of the best characters in Persona 4.
I would argue that she's probably like top 2 best characters in Persona 4.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Freaking love Yukiko. I think she's fantastic.
Yukiko's another one of those that it took a while for to grow on me, but like once she did, it was like, all right, I'm 100% on board.
I mean, I'll be completely real with you. I have a really hard time dating anybody who's not Yukiko. I really, really do. Like I've tried to date other people in P4, and it's like, you're not Yukiko. I want somebody who gross laughs at me.
And is incredibly snarky.
Oh, God. Her and Kanji have that snark just going, and I love it.
It's very good. All right, we have the 16th matchup, which means we have hit the halfway mark
Whoop, whoop.
of these first round matchups. We have 21st ranked Teddy from Persona 4 taking on 44th ranked P4 Social Link Sayako Uehara, that is the hot nurse.
Yeah, I picked Teddy.
It's Teddy. Yeah.
Teddy can be annoying, but he's not like a creeper.
He's not.
I mean, he
trying
is
to
a
get in your
creeper, but
pants.
he's not trying to get in a high school boy's pants.
Well,
I mean, he is, but he's also kind of a high school boy in a way. Also, Teddy's a lot more complicated than people give him credit for.
why'd you have to go and make things so complicated?
Wow, and he's a cute Alice, so I went with Teddy.
Also, previous matchup statistics: 75% of the predictions have went with Yukiko, and for this one, 100% have went with Teddy.
All right.
Matchup number 17 is another unfortunate seeding. We have second ranked Minako Arisato, the P3P female protagonist, taking on 63rd ranked P3P Social Link exclusive Ryo Iwasaki. Ryo is great.
But
Femc is the best.
Femc is chef's kiss. So, I mean, it's an unfortunate matchup, but she wins.
100% of the voters have agreed with that.
Good.
Matchup number 18. We have 31st ranked Labris from Persona 4 Arena and Ultimax taking on 34th ranked Takaya Sakaki from Persona 3.
I actually had a hard time with this one.
Yeah.
I really, really did, because I like them both. Takaya, again, is in the same category for me as like Chidori and Jin, in the sense that like you feel a great deal of empathy for them.
Mm-hmm.
But also Takaya was like shirtless Jesus character who
Revolver
shot
Jesus.
people. Yeah, Revolver Jesus. I think I went with Labris on this one.
Yeah, I think they're both good characters. I think I just like Labris a little bit more.
And I mean, like, Labris has that hilarious Boston accent for no reason.
She is one of the good things from those fighting games, specifically the last one. Because last one. Oy.
I really like Labris. I think she was a good addition, and I love her character design. And she has a really tragic story.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and the Boston accent is a thing.
It's very good.
So I went with Labras. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Labras. So 75%, I believe, the people have went with Labras. Matchup number 19, we have 15th ranked Kanji Tatsumi from Persona 4 taking on 50th ranked Persona 4 Social Link Ai Ebihara. The one good thing I contributes to Persona 4 is when in the anime she makes use ringtone the song from Catherine.
That's the only good thing she contributes.
Congratulations, Kanji. You have moved on to the second round.
I mean, that's an easy matchup, but
Yeah.
also I just adore Kanji. Like, he is my favorite Persona 4 character, period.
Yeah. Matchup number 20, we see Rise Kujikawa from Persona 4 taking on P3 Social Link and 47th ranked Maiko Ohashi. Also, statistics for the last one, 75% of the voters went with Kanji.
What? Somebody picked Ai over Kanji?
I guess so. This is Rise.
Yeah, Rise. 100% Rise.
Sorry, sad
Sad child.
child who has bad parents. Matchup 21, we have 7th ranked Anne Takamaki. Not on, it's Anne. Let's get it right,
Anne.
people. From Persona 5 taking on 58th ranked. We'll go with that.
Yes, that's 58.
P5 Social Link Shinya Oda, the arcade kid. This is Anne in a nutshell.
Yeah, this is Anne.
100% of the voters went with Rise for that last one. And for this one, 100% of the voters went with Anne.
Go lovers.
22 is the matchup. We have 26th ranked Ken Amada from Persona 3 taking on 39th
39.
P5 Social Link Chihaya Mifune.
Considering that I don't even remember who Mifune is.
She was the fortune teller.
Oh, yeah, then never mind. Ken just totally mops the floor with her.
Ken moves on.
Which, doesn't he have a mop at one point as one of his joke weapons?
Probably. I feel like someone at least does. Matchup 23. We have 10th ranked Ryuji Sakamoto from Persona 5 taking on 55th ranked Persona 5 Social Link Hifumi Togo. All right.
I felt bad for this one because I picked Hifumi.
Let's get real. The real winner here is Hifumi.
I picked Hifumi because I love her character, and she was one of the best things about Persona 5.
I like Ryuji a lot,
I do too.
but I feel like he kind of falls into that same mold of the sidekick character that 3 and 4 had as well.
And he didn't do it as well as Yosuke or Junpei. Like, I liked him, but not as much.
I mean, he has a good sympathetic backstory, you know.
He does. I feel like Hifumi was like a very different kind of social link than what we're used to, though.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an interesting thing. Didn't you say she was at one point planned to be in your party?
Yeah. She was originally supposed to be a party member.
Yeah. I really like her.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really liked her. And I felt bad because I do like Ryuji, but I picked Hifumi.
Someone's going to get mad at us, be like, oh, you talked about being professional, separating from personal. Look, professionally, the real answer here is Hifumi.
And I mean, I'm saying that, like, even professionally, I feel like she would win because she did something that was very different, whereas Ryuji was kind of the same thing again.
Hifumi is, honestly, I think my favorite character from Persona 5.
I agree with you.
She's great.
She's not my favorite, but she's up there. Yeah. She's top 3 for me.
I think her social link's real interesting. Just her characterization in general, the way she fights through the adversity that's caused by her mom. The way by the end of it, she is like incredibly ride or die.
Yeah, I mean, she's
so good.
I like I said, I just feel like she did something different than what we're used to, and I appreciate that.
Here's the kicker. 100% of the predictions have favored Hifumi in this matchup.
Wow.
Yeah.
So even if we're being professional, then like, heck yeah, good job.
Let's move on to the 24th matchup of the first round. We have 23rd ranked Shinjiro Aragaki from Persona 3 taking on 42nd ranked Marie from Persona 4 Golden.
Shinji.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
No.
Yeah.
Shinji's not Marie.
I mean, what if Shinji started talking or giving poems like Marie does?
Ah, no. No. Do not tarnish Shinji's memory like this.
I'm not as harsh on Marie as necessarily, or at least think
Adamantly
yes,
hatred filled for Marie.
but I like Shinji more.
Shinji's great.
Shinji's
He
real
has
good.
he has a lot of good backstory. He contributes a lot while he's there. He's tragic. Him and Ken and Akihiko and even Mitsuru, they all have like really great interactions. And then once you get to the P3P side and you can like social link him,
Hmm.
it's just beautiful. Also, um, the fact that the movies show him like in an apron feeding Koromaru is like the greatest thing in the world.
Let's see. Let's check out the statistics on this matchup. 75% of the voters have picked Shinji.
What? Who are you? I will fight you.
Matchup number 25, we have third-ranked Yu Narakami from Persona 4 taking on 62nd-ranked Elizabeth from Persona 3. Once again, I think it's a bad matchup.
It is a bad matchup.
It's a bad matchup from the rankings. Yu is the winner here, but Elizabeth is fantastic as well.
I agree.
It's an unfortunate early exit.
It is.
Let's check out the votes. It is 75% of the voters have picked Yu.
Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
Matchup 26, we have 30th ranked Sho Minazuki from Persona 4 the Ultimax Ultra Suplex Hold, taking on the unstoppable, the uncontrollable, the incredible Frenchman himself, the 35th ranked Persona 3 Social Link, Bebe.
Baby. I love that it's all in caps.
Because that's how great he is. The winner is Bebe, obviously.
Yeah.
I thought Sho's character was, I think, an interesting attempt, but they do some weird and wonky things with it that I think is just an extension.
It's a disservice to him.
It's a disservice, and I think it's just an extension of some of the bad writing that's in P4U2.
Yeah. There's a lot that could have been done with him that wasn't, and it's really unfortunate, but also Bebe is amazing.
Bebe is one of the best social link characters in Persona 3.
I agree with you.
Perhaps one of the best characters in Persona 3.
I love Bebe, and I know that we talked about it on the dancing games. Like, I know we won't get him, but like a girl can dream. Bebe was
dancing
great.
all Bebe.
Dancing all Bebe.
All right.
I'd even settle for like a Bebe skin.
Yeah, same. Matchup 27, we have 14th ranked Mitsuru Kiriju from Persona 3, and she is taking on 51st ranked Tei Takemi from Persona 5. Très bien.
I love that she speaks English in the Japanese version. It's Mitsuru.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
goth doctor.
Yeah, but like Mitsuru contributes a lot to the plot. She still has like that gray area of like whether or not she's good.
Yeah.
Even though like she's in your party and she's the one who's kind of leading the charge on it, you still have questions of like, what are your motivations here? And so, I mean, I really, really, Mitsuru's not even my favorite character in Persona 3, but she wins this.
And I went through all of like Tei's social link when I played that game, and just it didn't really do much for me.
It didn't do much for me. I mean, it's one of those like, hey, you want to date an adult kind of thing? And I'm like, ugh.
100% of the voters have went with Mitsuru, and also on the last one, 75% of the voters favor Bebe. Good job.
Should have been 100%.
They should have. This next matchup is, man, for me personally, was tough.
It was easy for me.
For you, yes.
Yeah.
For me, it was tough. This is 19th ranked Futaba Sakura from Persona 5 taking on P3P Social Link Saori Hasegawa. Saori is one of my favorite characters in P3P.
She's great.
She's
I'm
really
not denying
interesting.
that.
I think her social link goes places that you really aren't expecting. Oh. Futaba's great though too.
I mean, basically anybody who knows me knows that I picked Futaba.
Yeah. And, like we said earlier, like, sometimes you just got to concede. Apparently, I conceded and picked Futaba as well in my bracket. So, I think the winner is Futaba, but Saori, like, she's a great character.
It's again one of those unfortunate matchups that like if she had been matched against somebody else, she might have gone forward, but being matched against Futaba, just
75% of the voters have picked Futaba.
wow.
4 more first round matchups to go. We have the 29th matchup with 6th ranked Yosuke Hanamura from Persona 4 taking on 59th ranked Persona 4 Social Link Ryotaro Dojima.
I had a really hard time with this one, and I shouldn't have because like, I was like Dojima. I love Dojima, but like I'm also one of those real big Yosuke defenders, so I legitimately spent a good like 10 minutes debating this. Who do I pick? Who do I pick? And I ended up going Yosuke.
Yosuke's problematic, but also Dojima's problematic.
They're both extremely problematic.
But I think if you put them together side by side, I think Yosuke is the better of the two characters.
Yosuke has more growth.
Yeah.
He's still like, a ridiculous teenage boy, but you see a lot more change in him than you do with Dojima.
Right.
So I went with Yosuke.
The statistics for that are the voters are split. Matchup number 30, we have 27th ranked Toru Adachi from Persona 4 taking on 38th. Sure, we'll go with that. Persona 5 Social Link Sadayo Kawakami.
Is that the teacher?
That's the teacher. So
Adachi.
It's Adachi. I was not that big of a fan of the teacher Social Link.
No, it was gross. Like the whole maid thing, and then the fact that she was your teacher, and I'm like, ugh. Like as
plus, I just didn't think she was really that
interesting.
interesting.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't even a fun character. But like as somebody who is and has been a teacher, like the idea of trying to spend time with a student like that, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Like just gross. But also like while Adachi is a villain and terrible and also like a fedora wearing neckbeard essentially, like Adachi was really interesting and a good twist.
Yeah.
Also, he gets to dance too.
He does. Speaking of dancing, we have the 31st matchup. Also, photos were 75% for Adachi on that last one.
Wow.
11th ranked Akihiko Sanada from Persona 3 taking on 54th ranked P3 Social Link Chihiro Fushimi. I don't think we're going to have to argue on this one. Because the winner is Chihiro.
Great. No.
I'm kidding. I'm just going to write down Akihiko.
Akihiko is ultimate bae, so... no, I love everything about Akihiko.
Everyone is aware of that.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying, like, even before you got him, like, as a romanceable option in Persona 3 Portable, like, in Persona 3, he was instantly my favorite. I loved Akihiko. And then, like, you got the romance route with him, like, oh, this is even better. Like, everything about Akihiko is wonderful. And it is a little questionable that they put him into, like, a shirtless, like, scrapper guy. But they try to fix that a little bit. He's now like a respectable cop that wears a shirt.
Sometimes.
And lives with Aegis as a roommate.
100% of the voters have went with Akihiko on that matchup.
Good.
And we have our final matchup of the first round. 22nd ranked Haru Okumura from Persona 5 taking on 43rd ranked Caroline and Justine from Persona 5.
I picked the twins.
Ooh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I went with Haru.
I didn't feel like Haru got enough characterization.
I didn't really like the twins. I think, okay, here's a brief Persona 5 spoiler, so if you want to tune out for like a good 30 seconds or 15 seconds, I think the twins only get interesting when they fuse together.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I like them separate, and I like their social link of like trying to figure out who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I just really felt like Haru didn't get any kind of characterization. Like, we were talking about Tokyo Xanadu last week, and with Not Rize, she kept popping up and popping up and popping up, so you kind of felt like you knew her by the time that you like got to her dungeon.
Right.
And Haru showed up in like that weird Hawaii scene, and then like, surprise, she's here. And so
Yeah.
like I didn't feel like I knew Haru at all.
I feel
And
like
like,
I feel like I like the idea of like the weird of people's headcanons they've come up with Haru more so than I like the way the characterization that the game did.
what kind of headcanons are there?
I don't know, that she's cooler and she has more character.
Yeah, they did nothing with her character. Like absolutely nothing. They just kind of like threw her at you and like, here, have another party member. And like she
Yeah.
kind of has some tropes of Mitsuru in there, but like
She's the
I
Bashojo
just
thief.
I don't feel like I know anything about her.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think if we look at this objectively, I think it's the twins that win this.
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
All right. Also, the voters were split on that choice.
That makes sense.
Well, now we have whittled this down to 32.
Da, da, da.
Welcome to the second round, as we are nearly an hour into this podcast.
Well, it'll get easier now that we have less people.
Our first second round contest, we have Persona 3 main character Makoto Yuki taking on Kaname Mashita from Persona 4 Dancing All Night.
P3 pro tag. Yeah. That was easy.
I think that's the proper choice. Our second matchup, we have Jin versus Aegis.
Aegis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, I like Jin. I'll support Jin, but Aegis wins because Aegis just has a lot more characterization throughout the different games.
Matchup number 3 of the second round, Junpei Iori versus Goro Akechi.
Junpei. Junpei, 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 Junpei.
Hey, we gave Goro his shot. We advanced into the second round. That's more than I was expecting.
That's more than I did personally.
True.
So
Match 4, Chie Chidori.
Chie.
Yeah. Match number 5, Ren Amamiya versus Koromaru.
I picked Koromaru.
Honestly, I would pick Koromaru as well.
Like, I feel like objectively we should pick P5 pro tag, but like Koromaru had such a great story.
You know, I would actually object to that because I don't necessarily think he's been given like a proper characterization yet, because the only thing that we know from him is what the game kind of allows you to get.
And the short anime, like OVA.
So I think like the forthcoming anime will help his characterization out a little bit.
That's true.
Which, I mean, granted, we could say the same thing about P3P female protag, but she's just way cool. I think she's way cooler of a character in general than P5 protag.
Yeah.
So
Koromaru.
Congratulations, Koromaru. You're moving on to the third round.
Yay.
The Sweet 16. Our next matchup, the sixth matchup of the second round, Nanako versus Fuka.
I picked Fuka. Honestly, though, I could see an argument for Nanako. I could definitely see an argument for Nanako. I just remember that I picked Fuka.
That's tough.
It's really tough. You realize that like some of the hardest matchups we've had have been involving Nanako?
What? Nanako, please. You almost died for us, and now you're making everything tough.
Yeah.
I might go Nanako on this.
Yeah, and again, Nanako does benefit from having like characterization in like the anime and the games and Dancing All Night. Fuka has gotten a little bit like, because the P3 movie is essentially just P3, and then she has like a blip of a cameo in I think it was the first fighting game, but other than that, she hasn't gotten a whole lot. So I would go with Nanako.
She's in PQ as well. But,
right.
Like, I don't.
But again, for the most part, everybody's characterization is terrible in PQ.
All right. Next matchup, we have Yukari versus Morgana.
Yukari. 1,010%. I
You,
don't know if you agree with that, but
no, yeah, I already wrote it down. Yukiko versus Teddy.
Yukiko.
Yep. Femc versus Labris. It's Femc.
MC. See, I told you it'd get easier.
Kanji
Until it
versus
doesn't.
Rise.
I picked kanji.
Yeah, Rise's good, but Kanji's something else.
Kanji, yeah. Kanji something else. That's a good way to put it.
Anne versus Ken.
Ooh. I don't remember what I put, but I think I'd have to go with Anne on this one.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
Apparently, that is what I did for my bracket.
Nice. Did I or no?
I could look.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with Anne.
Hifumi versus Shinji.
I picked Shinji.
I would go with Hifumi.
Wow. Okay, so we're split on this.
Yeah. They're both
so
great.
why would you pick Hifumi over Shinji?
I just think I like her characterization a little bit more.
And see, I think the reason why I would pick Shinji is because he does more for the plot. While I like his character a whole lot, and I've mentioned that before, like his story ends up contributing to a lot of what happens in Persona 3 and ends up affecting at least Akihiko and Ken.
Right.
And also he's just connected a lot better to the characters. Like again, he feeds Koromaru just for funsies, and he has the social link with Femc that is just fantastic, and his relationship with Mitsuru is also kind of like an interesting and bizarre situation, which I guess could be said of anybody in Persona 3, but that's why I would go with Shinjiro.
I'm writing
It's just
Shinji down.
Okay,
I think you
I
convinced
convinced
me.
you.
Yeah.
Yay! I can make an argument.
You versus Bebe.
I want to pick Bebe, but it's got to go to you.
Yeah, Bebe's great, but
Bebe's great, but
you,
I don't know. You has just gotten a lot of characterization
and a lot of good characterization.
Yeah, the anime is just perfect for
Yes.
you.
Mitsuru Futaba.
I picked Futaba.
I would go Futaba as well. Yosuke Adachi, I think that's going to be pretty self-explanatory. It's Yosuke.
Yosuke.
And then Akihiko, the twins.
Akihiko.
Yeah. All right.
My love.
And then there were 16.
Welcome
to the Sweet 16.
Real. It starts getting real upsetting
Yep.
now.
Matchup number 1, P3 main character, Aigis.
I'd personally go with P3 main character.
I would pick Aigis.
I could understand why you'd pick Aigis.
Because I think she gets way more characterization than what P3 main character does. And P3 main character gets, I think, pigeonholed a little bit in terms of his characterization.
And Aigis ends up becoming, like, important to other stories. So I'll concede and go with Aigis.
Oh, boy.
Are you all right?
Junpei Chie.
I went Junpei.
No. You gotta go with Chie here.
I don't know. I just don't think I can. Because Junpei essentially like started the like bro friend trope, and Junpei with his relationship with Chidori ended up affecting the story of P3 a lot.
Junpei's able to escape, I think, the bro friend trope.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying that he's
I'm saying like that's a good thing for him.
Yeah, it is. And Junpei honestly becomes like a tragic figure, because even thinking of like the fighting game, while he does end up fulfilling a dream of being like a baseball coach, like he's still holding that torch for Chidori, and like he's one of the characters that you see that P3 is still affecting him in really not great ways, whereas the rest of them have kind of moved on and they're doing different things. Like Akihiko's fighting bears, and Mitsuru is running a new shady organization, and I guess is working for Fuka's like a computer programmer. Yukari's a model,
I
and
mean,
Junpei's just kind of there. And like I think that it's kind of an interesting aspect that they're like Junpei can't get past it.
I guess if you put it in that words, like, I don't think Chie gets that much growth over the course of the games.
Mm-mm. And like I love Chie, and I will tell you straight up, I love Chie, but she kind of remains the same.
Right.
And they even kind of like recycle some of her struggles in like the dancing games
Yeah,
and
yeah, I think,
Q and all that.
yeah.
And I mean, it to me, Junpei is just, I don't want to say he's a sad character, but you can see
He
how the
has
death
layers.
of his friends has really, really made an impact on him that you don't see from the other P3 characters, except for in the Fez
Yeah.
when you have them all fighting. But that's pretty much it. Like you have that, and then everybody moves on except for Junpei.
I think we're going to go Junpei.
Yay!
Koromaru Nanako.
But Nanako, why are you fighting us on this?
I mean, Koromaru's great.
I'd have to go with Nanako.
It's
on this
Nanako,
one.
yeah.
It's Nanako. I'm just saying that Nanako keeps giving us these hard matchups. But the fact that we keep having to like struggle with it means that Nanako is a good character.
This next one's f***ing tough.
Okay.
Yukari versus Yukiko.
I know that I picked Yukari, and I'll give you my explanation, but I could be swayed. Yukari, the reason that I picked her is just because of Fez. Yukari gets a lot of by fans constantly because they think she's like a bitch, and they think that she's, I don't know, petty, and people really hate Yukari for some reason, but I think she shines in that because she's, again, you see that struggle of losing a friend or, depending on how you played it, a lover. And which, ew, they're like 16. Don't say lover, that's weird. Don't say that. But my issue with that is that, again, by the time you get to the fighting game, she's kind of like throwing that to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like back to happy peppy Yukari, and she's a model and an actor, and you kind of lose some of that edge that like Junpei still has. That like
They
you
really,
see how it affects her,
I think they
and then
they
you don't.
lose her Fez characterization.
They do,
Yeah.
and it's disappointing because I think that Yukari had some of the best characterization in Persona 3, and then they just didn't continue it.
I think if you look at Yukiko,
Like I said, I could easily give it to Yukiko.
she is able, I think, to maintain her progression as a character throughout all the spinoffs. Because if you look at her from the very beginning of Persona 4, where she's like this weird, timid, like very like shut in character, and then by the time, like, as you go through the course of Persona 4, you see her open up more. You see her like, I mean, essentially she breaks the cage, as as symbolic as the anime makes it, of her like anxieties and all that sort of stuff. And you see her grow as like she has these pressures of like, oh, you're going to inherit your inn and do all this stuff, and she's like, no, I don't want to do this, I want to get the hell out of here. And then like you see her go through all of that, and to eventually be like, okay, maybe this isn't going to be so bad, I could learn some things here. And I think especially by the time you get to the end, where she becomes more of like this friendly character, where you see like all the sides of her, where you see like her snarkiness, her silliness. They don't necessarily regress that per se in the spin-offs, especially the later ones, through the fighting games and through Dancing All Night. Especially Dancing All Night, she's really like, that's the point where you see like, oh, okay, these are truly, truly friends, because she's not like putting up any guards or anything. It's just, this is how Yukiko is now. And I think it benefits a little bit better than Chie, because Chie is kind of the same character kind of throughout, and I think Yukiko is able to grow throughout Persona 4 and the spinoffs as well.
I think you're right. And honestly, snarky characters are fantastic. So
I think the one thing that holds Yukari back is the way they demean her Fez characteristics.
yeah, I can agree with you. So I'll concede on this and go with Yukiko.
All right. Femc Kanji.
I hated this one because I love Kanji. He's my favorite character in Persona 4.
He's really good.
But female protagonist of P3, I guess partially why I like her so much, and it's kind of the same story with Futaba, is that like I see a lot of myself in her. And I liked how very different in characterization she was from just the standard protag. Like you had very, very different responses and very different outcomes with her than you would have had with him. And so you do see a distinct difference, and you see a distinct difference in the social links as well, because you get more of a like form of communication and growth through characters because of her.
I mean, they're two completely different people.
Oh no, I'm just saying that
yeah.
like I feel like she got more of a solid characterization even if she only had one game.
I mean, honestly, she is one of my favorite characters out of the entire series.
Same. So that's why it was so hard, is that I love Kanji, but I had to give it to her.
Yeah.
Which then made my life miserable.
I feel like we're gonna reach that point here shortly.
We are.
Next matchup, Anne versus Shinji.
I'm still gonna stick with Shinji on this one just because of the reasons I stated before. Anne has only had the one game to go with, and there's still some like problematic issues with her that was not her fault, but
yeah, I think the main detractor for Anne in terms of this matchup is the way Atlas bungles her character.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because if they didn't do that, I think she would have a way stronger case. You can make stronger arguments for her. But as it stands right now, the way they completely just goof up her character towards the end of that game is just...
It's a detriment to her, and it's really sad. Because she is one of the better P5 characters, but yeah, I mean, I'm going to stick with Shinji with the argument I gave earlier.
You versus Futaba.
This one was also hard for me. Because I mentioned before, like I see a lot of myself in Futaba, But Yu has gotten a much better characterization than Futaba has. Because Futaba, again, has the one game, and even then she's a little bit further into the game, so you don't get as much interaction with her. And then Yu has, like, the great anime that, like, builds up his personality, and he's been in a lot of stuff since then. And it's not necessarily just you've been in a lot of stuff. It's the way that you're handled in a lot of stuff, because we've seen that even with Yukari, she's been in stuff, but the way that she's handled has fallen by the wayside.
Right.
And you didn't really have that problem. He was pretty consistent in keeping up. He's such a weird dude.
He is. It's so strange how they were able to like make a self-insert character into whatever they made him and all the spin-offs.
Like, it's so hard to describe him, because at certain points he's like super cool, and then other times you're like, man, you're a nerd. What are you doing, man? Like, I just keep thinking of like the King's Game scene in the anime, and I'm like, who is that guy?
They're able to pull off like him being super serious at points, but also the ability to be just the complete biggest goofball around.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I love Futaba because I think that she has a fantastic backstory. I think that she contributes a lot to P5, and her social link is really fun. I objectively, I feel like I'd have to give it to you.
I think I would agree.
Yeah.
And finally, we got Yosuke versus Akihiko. All right, let me tell you about Yosuke here.
You're gonna defend Yosuke?
It was gonna be a joke, like, all right, so let me tell you about Yosuke. He's a homophobe at points.
He's very childish.
He's very childish.
And he doesn't see as much growth as I would hope.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of a bummer.
Akihiko, I do admit, has some regression in terms of the like fighting game. But that wasn't also his fault because originally they were going to make him into a whole different type of character where he was going to be more of like who he was in P3. But they decided they needed a grappler character.
Right.
So they redesigned him. And we've mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. Literally everybody sucks except for Theodore and PQ. Like Akihiko's treatment in PQ is trash. Shinji's treatment in PQ is trash. Yukari's treatment in PQ trash. Junpei trash. Like everybody is awful because they just boil them down to like single note points about their character. Some of them that don't even exist.
The shining bright moment of PQ is Kanji looking out and trying to help Ken.
Yes, I agree. That was man, though, it was really tragic when PQ ends and Ken's like, my mind's changed. Everything's gonna be okay. And then they're like, oh no, everything's not okay. I love Akihiko. And it's not just like an artificial love for this guy because yes, he is like attractive, but there's a lot of layers to his character. Depending on like if you're looking at the male side, the female side, just the general story. He's also just awkward as hell and I love him.
Well, we have 8.
This is where it gets real hard.
The Elite 8. This is where we're at. We're going to start with our first matchup. It's Aigis versus Junpei.
I still stick with Junpei. I legit do.
I think this is one that could go either way. I think
it could.
But I think I would be swayed more towards Junpei.
My issue is that because of Aigis being a robot, she has less of like a character progression. Like she does have an effect with Persona 3, and like that obviously changes her a bit.
I mean, she has the progression of goes from being more robotic to more human-esque.
Yeah.
But if you look at the later games, I don't know how much they necessarily like try and expand upon that or make that characterization better.
Yeah,
like she's goofy.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of all they try and do with her.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. They've kind of turned her into like a joke character, and she's not.
Right.
But again, I'd have to go with Junpei on this one.
Nanako versus Yukiko.
Whew.
I feel like Nanako's run of making things tough is ended.
Yeah, I think it's got to go to Yukiko. Yeah. You did well, Nanako. I'm proud of you. Every day is great at your Junes.
Femc versus Shinji.
I know that you know personally who I picked here.
Yeah.
Because I went with MC.
Yeah.
My personal bracket. I could see it going either way because of arguments that I've made for both characters and this same podcast. So the question is, do I go with my feeling or do I go with like objectiveness?
I would go with MC.
I would go with MC as well. I love you, Shinji, but you died. I mean, she died too, but
the hard part about these real late matchups are like, I mean, the arguments have been said. It's like, what do you have to go off of?
Yeah, it's just hard to figure out like how do we match them up at this point? Like, ugh.
Finally, we have you versus Akihiko.
This one's hard, and I say that as somebody who loves Akihiko. It is really, really hard because you got great characterization. Um, Personally, I would still go with Akihiko, but I could see it going for you as well.
Yeah.
Like I will always, always fight for Akihiko.
I think the one way I would skew this towards you
Hmm.
is the argument that we have been using of
I,
they kind of bungle his character in the fighting games of
yeah,
Akihiko's.
yeah, they do. And I think objectively putting it aside, like it does need to go to you, but like I'm going to be mad about it not being Akihiko because I love Akihiko. But that said, like you have some really fantastic growth, especially considering that he is a player insert character.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot that they do with that character. And I know that people were like tired of the bowl cut by the time that like we got to all the spinoffs, but
I personally was not.
no, I think Narukami is a great
Yeah, same,
guy.
same.
And so like while personally I would absolutely pick Akihiko, I could see if you want to put you, you can put you.
I think it's got to be you.
Okay.
I am genuinely surprised how consenting you were to be like, I'll let Akihiko go.
Well, no, because I think you're right. And it is a tragedy that his fighting character was bungled because what they gave him in the other two games was so wonderful.
and
And
and even just if you have to we have to count PQ as well, where they just completely screw it up, where they just make him so completely one dimensional.
they do. And like, I don't even remember. I think Akihiko mentions protein once in the entirety of P3. And then they're like, protein, 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 protein. I'm like, that is not who Akihiko is. Like, Akihiko is this adorably shy and awkward guy who doesn't really have an easy time with social interaction. He's really good at physicality, and he uses that physicality as a front. He's not able to like emotionally break through at first because he's been protecting himself for so long because he keeps losing people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad because like that's an important part of him is that he hides behind his strength because he wants strength in order to protect people he cares about, and then like they turn that into a joke. And like that is so so tragic that they turn like something that honestly affects him so much and is a real emotional problem for him that he has to overcome with Shinji, that like, oh, let's make fun of protein and him being strong. And it's like, do you not understand what's underlying with Akihiko? Like there's so many layers here, and ugh, it's so frustrating.
I think
Like it's like they forgot who Akihiko was.
right. I think you make a good point where you talked about how he was kind of he's awkward when he talks to people,
Hmm.
and that's pretty consistent throughout most of Persona 3.
Yes.
But by the time you get to all the spin-offs, it's just like, hey guys, I'm this jokester now. Hey, I can talk in any situation. And it's like, that's not his character in the slightest.
No, and I mean like he makes jokes. Like one of my favorite is the time where he's talking about like wearing Junpei's hat so he can go train.
Right.
But and the maybe I can meet you there.
He's not a
But
comical character.
he's not Junpei.
Right, yes, exactly.
And I feel like they're trying to make him too much into Junpei,
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to make him into just a one-dimensional character, which is a real disservice to Akihiko because there is just so much to him between vanilla Persona, Persona 3 Portable, and then Fez. Because you get some great stuff from him in Fez. And I became really emotionally attached to him, and I understand like walling yourself off because of being hurt so much.
Hmm.
And I don't know, it makes me really sad. It's a situation where again, it feels like Atlas forgot who he was and Atlas forgot how to write him.
Right. Yeah. Which I think
Um,
that's what we could say about a lot of the characters in
yeah,
this.
I agree with that. And like while I'm really upset to let Akihiko go on this, because personally he's probably my favorite character, and I know on my bracket I had him as number one.
Hmm.
Um, but objectively looking at this as somebody who's like doing this as a quote unquote professional with you on this podcast, um, given the standards that I have like put forth and you have put forth on characters, I feel like it would be kind of hypocritical of me to put Akihiko forward on this one,
Right.
because it wouldn't be fair for me to say like, oh, this character, their characterization didn't continue, and da da da, and then the same thing with Akihiko, put him forward because he's my favorite.
Right.
So I mean, I'm down for putting you on this. I'm sorry, Akihiko. I will come rub your head when I go to bed later. I still love you a lot, a whole lot, even if you do wear weird shorts in the art book.
Hopefully they don't do the same thing in the dancing game.
I think they will.
I mean, considering that's supposed to take place during like both the respective games, like you would think like, hey, they would probably lean more towards the original game's writing, but you never know.
Yeah, but PQ was also supposed to have happened in the
True.
middle of the
True.
games, and
You're
they
right.
completely bungled it.
You're
So,
right.
and somebody's translated one of the screenshots with him, and he's mentioning protein already. So,
Well,
it
it's not looking good then.
it's not. It's really, really not. And I look forward to like watching him dance,
And that's it.
and I look forward to like having like hearing voices and all that. But I'm going into that knowing that they're going to up Akihiko.
Right.
So, lay sigh.
We have entered the final four.
Yeah. Also, I'm sure everybody's going to be surprised by that. Anyway, continue.
I would like to give you a brief little bit of statistics for before we enter the last matchups.
Okay.
Every single person in the final four that we have made has made a final four in a bracket.
Nice.
Junpei made one bracket, his final four.
Mine.
Yukiko made 1, 2.
Wow.
FemC made 1, 2, 2 with a victory. And you made 1. So we have everyone was represented in the prediction brackets, and only one character has a victory
Okay.
out of all of them.
And I'll be honest with you, I was split on my victory because of characterization issues.
Mhm.
So, one of the ones that is in this four right now, I would put as my victory at the moment.
Well, let's dive into the very tough matchups. The
Okay.
final four. First up, we have Junpei versus Yukiko.
1,000% I would still put Junpei. I really, really would because,
I'm I made the argument for Yukiko.
yeah,
I think Yukiko's a great character.
she is.
But if we are looking comparatively at what Junpei brings to the table and what she brings to the table, I think in terms of characterization, Junpei brings more of that compared to what Yukiko brings.
I would agree with
They're
you.
both fantastic characters, and we're glad they were able to make it this far.
Hmm.
But I think Junpei moves on to the finals.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that we can say is that like all of our top four are
They're
characters that
great. Like
they're
top tier.
fantastic. Yeah, we love these people, but yeah, Junpei, I would absolutely. He was in my top two.
He was.
Hmm.
Where did Junpei end up in mine? Where did I?
Have I converted you into a Junpei lover?
I mean, I've always liked Junpei, so
You know I have his hat, right?
yes, I am aware of that.
Yeah.
Junpei went out in the third round for mine when he met GA. So,
Yeah,
which obviously, personal brackets, being the thing. So,
right. Well, again, like Akihiko went forward in mine, and
true.
I
So,
don't feel like Akihiko should go forward in this one.
and then we bring it down to the final of the final four, the battle of protagonists, FemC
This
versus you.
this one's
This
hard.
is. Let me ask you:
Okay.
is it hard? Considering the arguments we have given to this point, is this a hard decision?
I mean, based on the arguments we've given, I would put you forward.
I think that's the I honestly think that's the case. Even though my bracket's winner was FemC.
Yeah. And like FemC went super far for me because I was so mad at you that you put
She hit.
I had FemC versus Akihiko.
Yeah, she hit the same barrier that is happening here, except you just replaced you with Akihiko.
Yeah, I think you has to go forward.
I think so as well. And then there were two.
Mm-hmm.
We have whittled down 64 characters. 64. All from Persona 3 Persona 3 through 5 to 2.
That was a hard thing to do.
It is.
Like, we've been struggling. And honestly, for me, this one's an easy decision. But I don't know if it's an easy decision for you.
Well, let's give these guys a grand introduction. The championship.
Mm-hmm.
The best two characters, as decided by us, from Persona 3, Junpei Iori, from Persona 4, Yu Narukami. Who survives and is the best Persona 3 through 5 character? I don't know if this is an easy decision.
For me, it is.
Okay, who is the easy decision?
I would 10,000% give it to Junpei. I would absolutely give it to Junpei because one of the issues is that, again, Yu is a player insert, and while he does have a lot of characterization throughout the games and the anime and everything, there is still a lot of choice involved with him, and you can take him in multiple directions depending on what you'd like. Also, he has points where, like, I feel like, trying to think of the best way to word this. Sometimes his characterization falls a little flat. I'm particularly thinking of Persona Golden anime. Like, there are good moments in that, but then there are moments where I'm like, what are you doing? What? And that might be because of Marie, but...
And I think as well, like, the way they try and just present that character in that series is strange because it's essentially a New Game Plus version of you.
Yeah, and so that's kind of a weird way to go about it, in that, like, you have a New Game Plus you who is like, okay, I know everything, I have all these things, let's go on. And, like, that doesn't narratively make a whole lot of sense.
Right,
Like, I understand because of, like, that's how you can play Persona 4, that they would do the anime that way.
I don't necessarily think that's a knock against him, but a knock against the design of that show.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that would give it to Junpei over you for me is the characterization in the fighting games. Because you kind of stay static in those. And then again, Junpei, you see a massive amount of impact from Persona 3 and how that's continued to change his life even into adulthood. And even then, like, you see that he's kind of ostracized by, like, the P3 crew. And so you have that aspect of a characterization as well, that he kind of does the same thing that Akihiko did, in the sense that he kind of, like, walls himself off. Because none of them really keep up with him. None of them really hang out with him or talk to him. And he's just kind of doing his own thing. And he's still mourning even into his 20s.
But do you think that's a benefit of just having more time?
I mean, do you? Because, like, I don't know. I think that part of the issue here is that you got a happy ending.
Yeah.
and Junpei got a double not happy ending
Yeah.
because his best friend died and the girl that he was in love with died. And actually, he has a triple because then the friends that he thought that he had from P3 kind of abandon him. And so, he tries to move on and do something that he loved, which was baseball, but he ends up becoming like a kid baseball coach. And I don't even think he gets paid very well for it, if at all.
But also, like, I think you could kind of argue that it's not necessarily them just abandoning him. It's just everyone's kind of going their separate ways post high school. Like that's just the fact of life.
It is fair, but also like you still have Mitsuru and Akihiko and Aigis and Fuka all working together, and Yukari is still involved in a way. Um, Ken is still a kid, so that's a little more complicated. But like
But I think as well that's just a
they
factor
don't
of
involve Junpei in like the Shadow Operative group. They just don't.
I feel like Yukari was like would have been closer to that group because she definitely has her relationship with Mitsuru,
She does.
but I don't think Junpei necessarily has like that same type of relationship with the others like he did because he was more connected towards the main character.
And I would argue that that's an interesting aspect because we've talked about, again, with the Tokyo Xanadu, we talked about how you didn't really get the feeling that they were all friends in some
Right.
of these Persona games. And Persona 3 demonstrates that they weren't because they let Junpei fall on the wayside. And honestly, if that were me and my friend was having such a hard time and like I would see that he's having such a hard time, I would try and involve him. But they don't. And
Is that a fault though because some of them are just completely oblivious? Like, are you really expecting Mitsuru or Akihiko to like look after Junpei?
I feel like somebody would have. And because they were the ones who recruited him in the first
Like,
place.
I feel like if anyone out of them, it would be either Fuka or Yukari.
Agreed. And even then, Yukari just doesn't seem to care either. And I think that's one thing that I think is so interesting about Junpei is that he demonstrates throughout the series that like the biggest thing that he wants is acceptance. He wants people to care about him because he has an alcoholic dad who's said to be pretty abusive, and he tries to get away from that by being a superhero essentially. And he wants them to like him. He does the same thing with Chidori. He's like, hey, I have this entire side gig that, I think is a cool thing and you should like me for it. And she uses that against him in a way, but like he's always constantly seeking some form of acceptance because he's had such a hard childhood. And then you continue that on into the fighting games and you realize that Junpei still isn't getting the acceptance that he wants. And I feel like that's a really strong aspect of his character that people don't really think about. And that, like, yes, it comes out in some negative ways, like the whole like train incident where he's jealous and runs off. Um, but Junpei consistently is looking for some form of validation. And he does find it an extent as like the kid baseball coach, but I don't know, maybe I just like tragic characters better. Because like I said, you kind of gets like his characterization, he gets his happy ending and he gets to dance with his friends and everything's fine.
I mean, I
And
think you the way you describe Junpei of like he wants acceptance and all that, they kind of do go with that in terms of you, but they only
mhm,
do it with one like aspect or like representation of that character, and that's in the original anime OVA where they did the
yep,
true ending, and
yep,
you see the shadow version of you like for the first time,
for the first
and
time.
that's the only time they ever like used that. But the whole thing of what the shadow wanted was like it wanted to be accepted, it wanted friends, it wanted
Hmm.
all that sort of things, kind of like similar to what Junpei wanted.
Yeah.
But like I said, they only use that once,
Hmm.
so you can't.
And it's the OVA.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily something that it can tie together into everything else if they don't necessarily pick up on it like every or in the subsequent side or spin-offs or sequels because they really
Mhm.
don't because it
They don't.
essentially that character just kind of becomes
he becomes kind of perfect in a way.
Yeah.
And that's a little irritating that like he can do everything right.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's what makes this matchup so interesting is that you have a character who is kind of perfect and can do everything right, and then you have a character who's constantly messing up
Hmm.
and seeing the results of what's happening because of the choices that he's making. And you don't get a whole lot of background on Yu's like childhood beyond like his parents are overseas or whatever. I don't remember. They're gone.
I mean, what kind of
And he's
childhood are
like
you having when your parents are just like, hey, we're going overseas. We're just going to dump you off with one of our relatives?
yeah, I mean, so like there's obviously more that could have been done with him there.
True.
That they could have done a characterization of him struggling because his parents didn't seem to really care about him. They could have talked about more of him moving around areas. They could have talked more about him being from the city and then moving to the small town. They just didn't.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of opportunities with Yu's character that they could have taken to make him more well-rounded and more flawed, honestly. And they just didn't do it. And it's kind of disappointing.
And I feel like the only time to kind of try and wrap back around on that is the dancing game. But I think that's almost a benefit of him not having to shoulder the entire load of being the main character, where he gets to split it off with Rise and Kaname.
Yeah.
So I think what we're coming to is that Junpei's the winner.
That's my argument. I would give it to Junpei. I think that Junpei is a really good example of a persona character who is multifaceted. He has problems. He has a certain type of growth, even if it's not a positive growth. And he is continuously affected by the story. It's not just like, oh, well, Persona 3 is done and that's it and everything's fine. Like you can see that this is constantly weighing on him. And you see that with like Elizabeth in a way because she's still trying to find a way to bring him back.
Hmm.
But Junpei more treats it as like a mourning. And he even wears like a necklace that he says that Chidori got him as a reminder. And it's like, I love Junpei. I really love Junpei. And I don't know if like people have picked that up from my other talks about Persona, but I'm like very, very passionate about how much I like Junpei as a character.
You're very passionate about the Persona 3 cast in general.
I am, but not necessarily all of them. Like
Yeah, true.
I wouldn't defend Mitsuru ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Um and like I like Fuka, but Fuka doesn't get a whole lot of like this type of characterization, but I like characters like Yukari and Junpei who do have like very big flaws with them that they have to fight through in the series. And it usually ends up that people dislike them because of that. Like I said, Yukari is constantly called and Junpei is, you know, he's boiled down to the bro character and the comedic relief, and people generally don't like him. And I think that's really tragic because there's a lot to his character, and same with Yukari, that people just choose to ignore
Hmm.
or they just don't realize it. I'm not sure which. So, I mean, I don't really feel like I have to defend Akihiko to the extent that I do these two because people generally like him, even if his most recent iterations are terrible. Um, but man, I am like 1,010% on board of like Junpei Defense Squad.
Well, congratulations to Junpei Iori, the best character of Persona 3 through 5. Which, man, let's just look back. He went through a murderer's row of people to get here.
He did.
He beats Sojiro in the first round. He beats Goro in the second, Chie in the third, Aigis in the fourth, Yukiko in the fifth, and then finally he beats you.
He went through a lot of characters that are fantastic characters. Like, that's the thing is that this is not an easy decision to make.
No.
And I personally had a lot of struggles with my version of it, and then I've had struggles in this and
Yeah.
trying to figure out like what I would pick.
Which, granted,
But
like, this is completely different than what either of us came up with
oh
by
yeah, it is.
ourselves.
It is. It's well, Junpei was in my final two.
Right, but even still, like,
He didn't win.
the surroundings of it were still completely different.
Oh yeah,
Right.
super duper different. And a lot of that was just because it wasn't as serious. It was more of like,
It's personal.
you know,
Like, oh, I like
yeah.
this person over this person. You don't have to
And
make that much justification for your choices.
right. I mean, like, how many figures of Akihiko do I have?
1 million.
It's a lot. Um, and you know this, they don't know this, but the number two character that I have the most figures of is Junpei.
And a hat.
And a hat. I have his hat. So, I mean, it's.
I think the one thing this confirms is that finally, we know who the man is.
I love it.
And I think that's the final thing we have to say about this.
I'm done.
Yep. Junpei is the best character. There you go. And that's going to do it for this episode. Like I said at the beginning of this, I'll leave this up so you can make your own little predictions. I'll leave it up for like a week or two. So just in case like someone comes in and is like, oh no, I want to do this. And then it's like, oh, everything's shut out. You can't do it. That would be real mean. So if you want to do that, there will be a link in the description of this episode somewhere that will take you to the page, and you can make your own predictions and see how you decide your own rankings. And then eventually we'll fill it all in and tally it up and see who came closest to us. That'll be a thing we do.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll probably post it on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
But anyways, if you would like more from us, you can head on over to seasonalamecheckup.com or sac.cool for past episodes of this podcast and other stuff as well, like the Jared and Al Watch Sailor Moon Crystal podcast and also the mainline Seasonal Anime Checkup podcast. And you can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. You can find more from Anne Ladyem at AnneLadyem.com, where she has cool columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/AnimeCheckup. That's where we do Twitter. Hey, did you know we've been on Twitter for an entire year now?
Wow.
You can support this podcast on Patreon.
Loki didn't like it the way I said that. He's looking at me like, what are you
doing?
even doing?
You can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA, if you would like to give us $1 for our fine work. Brilliance in podcasting, clearly.
Yes.
Next week could be something, could not be something. It depends on some things that come out.
That's vague.
Yes. But we'll have something up for you, of course, because that's what we do.